this is my current drilling area. So last Christmas I got one of these, a Blackstone, and I've used it quite a bit for outside cooking. But my problem is when I'm not camping with it and it's here, it sits up on this table, which is about waist height, which means when I'm cooking with it, I'm almost nip height here. So I need this thing to be a little recessed lower to make cooking with it a little easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to modify this table to recess the Blackstone down to a nice, comfortable height. And then I'm also going to have to move the cooking utensils that my dogs used to like to lick right here. I'm going to move them up here, make a spot for those. And then also my propane tank, which kind of just chills out in the open right there. We need to make it so it's not so in the open, doesn't look so terrible. So those are things that we got to do in this video. And then that starts this project, because we are doing a almost a complete barbecue area overhaul. Let's get dusty. Sorry about that. So I just realized that maybe taking the whole thing apart to rebuild it is kind of dumb, when I could just figure out where I want this, mark it, cut the top, and then drop it down. I think that makes a little more sense. So I'm going to figure out exactly where I want this thing to lie and sit, and then we're going to... So the problem that I'm running into is I want this thing to sit almost flush and flat, but the gas line that runs into it, if I do that, it's actually going to sit in the structural support that's going to run this thing down. So I'm going to have to push this forward a little bit to allow that clearance, and then I'll just figure out how to get this, the L shape, to get into underneath the table where I'm going to then run the propane line down. So that's why I was looking kind of confused. Apparently tonight I'm cooking on the grill for dinner, so things are about to get a bit warm. That was supposed to, I had lighter fluid on there. I thought it was gonna be cool, but yeah, so I'm gonna work around this. So I have it test fit in there. Don't worry about that. That'll get all cleaned up later on. I do have a problem right here. This does hit a little more than I thought it would. And then the big problem is back here where the catch tray is. I gotta notch that out, and that'll sink this in a little bit more flush. And then we gotta probably notch up around here. And then I think I'm just gonna do a full face type situation here to kind of make that look a lot better. So here's my plan here, because I need, this is all set. I've got to figure a way to stabilize this and kind of enclose where the tank and everything is going to be. So what I'm going to do is, you can see I have the shiplap running behind me right here. I'm going to mimic that over on this side and completely enclose this, then have a door here and probably a door on the other side of the wall over there to get into this corner area right here for other storage stuff. So I'm just kind of winging this as I go. I'm going to add some support legs in the front, which I think is extremely important with the weight of that Blackstone up here, and then we're going to add a center leg here to screw into and just kind of work at it. Alright, so I'm waiting on some stuff to come in for the rest of the grilling area so I can button that up. While I'm doing that, this gives me a good time to jump over and start working on the tool holder slash splash guard. Because when you use the Blackstone and the grease, it splatters everywhere, and the side of the house is right next to it. So I want to do some type of splash guard on it, and that's also going to be what I'm going to use to hold up the utensils. So what I'm going to use so I can clean it up is I'm going to just do this corrugated panel, and I'm just going to build a frame to hang the tools from, and then to hold that in. And then I will do a drip tray, so any of the spatulas and stuff that drip, I'll be able to replace that. So got everything cut, just got to get it all together. This thing, I want to make like a secret, not really secret, I want to make like a trapdoor area inside the side corner area, so that way I still have access to get back there. So I don't want this thing to fall all over the place, and I don't want to use hinges, so my idea is I got a couple of rare earth magnets, can't really, yeah, and I'm going to recess these and glue these in the top corners, and then I'm going to take a flat washer and probably a screw. I'm going to put those on the thing, so hopefully those magnets will actually hold that up on there. Maybe. Alright, you can see I recessed the magnets in there and there. And there you go. No one's the wiser that there is a door there. Just the one magnet seems to hold, the other one doesn't really seem to do a lot, but it should be fine. So there is one last thing that I got to do to finish this thing up. So if you remember all the way at the beginning of this, so this L shape is the propane line for the Blackstone. Now what I wanted to do was have it run here and then trickle height in there, but after hacking away a little corner I realized that's not actually going to work with the giant regulator on it. So I went on Amazon and I got this. So all I got to do now is drill a hole right through here, which will allow me to feed the hose through, and then we're all cleaned up and we're done. Ta-da! There it is. So I really needed to do this for a while, and I'm glad the project is complete now. So the way that this is going to work now with the Blackstone is I have the gas line runs in here, and the propane tank is now hidden in the underneath cabinet area. Now I got the propane tank off to the side if need be, and if I've got to access this little part over on this side, this magnetic cover just pops right off, and I can get in there if I wanted to store stuff like that. So now I can run a dual cooking area. Also, I got my utensils all up, and I didn't really show you much of this, so why don't you come over here and take a look at it. So I got the utensils up, and I did that splash guard on the back with the metal. So I think it like aesthetically looks really nice. And I got my bottles for the Blackstone, and then I have the aluminum foil in my drip tray for if any of my utensils drip, then I don't have to deal with a bunch of grease everywhere, and that should protect the splash all over the side of the siding. So this is a project I was pretty excited to get done, but we're not done just yet. The cooking area overhaul needs a roof. So stay tuned on the next video, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a roof over this so that I can cook when it's raining. See you guys in the next one.